In this lesson, we're going to take a look at solving right triangles. We need to find all of the angles and side lengths. The sum of the angles, remember, in a triangle add up to 180. So that is going to help us find an angle. And then this is Pythagorean theorem, which is going to help us to find a side if we have two sides. And then trig ratio can help us find a side or an angle. So you can, depending upon what you have, use either of these three to start, but you're going to use all three to solve a triangle no matter what you have. So let's go ahead, and I like to kind of do trig first. So, ka, toa. And so we're going to be finding the measure of angle E. We're going to be finding G, little g, which is across from angle, capital G. And then we're going to be finding, this would be F. And then we're going to be finding, it looks like, little side E over here. So if we know what this angle is, we're going to use our trig skills here, and we are going to label this the hypotenuse because it's across from our right angle. And then we are going to pick which one we want to find. Do we want to find G? Do we want to find E? So let's go ahead and find G, the opposite here. And see how it's opposite of our angle. So O and H is going to be sine. So to find G, we are going to do sine 49 is equal to O, which is our little g, over H, and then we're going to cross multiply. So cross multiplying, we're going to get G equals 35 times sine 49, and that is going to give us that side G is 26.4. And then we are going to find angle, measure of angle E, and we can do that by subtracting the two angles that we know, which is 90 and 49. And giving us 41 degrees for angle E. The last step, so far we have used subtracting from 180, we've used a trig ratio. Now we're going to lastly use Pythagorean theorem. Since we know two sides now, we know G and we know F, we're going to find E. So to find E, we're going to, you can actually use trig again, or you can use Pythagorean theorem. Either is totally fine. You can do your c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared, or vice versa. Just make sure that your c, your longest side, is by itself. So we've got our 26.4 squared plus our e squared is equal to 35 squared. And then you can subtract your 26.4 squared. And e squared is going to equal 28.04, and then we're going to square root. And then e is equal to 22.97, which rounds to 23. So you could, for e, you could use, since it's adjacent and hypotenuse, you could use cosine 49 is equal to e over 35 and cross multiply and use your calculator, but you'll still get 23. So you kind of have some choices on that. So solving is finding all the missing pieces. So on this one, we are going to try and find the measure of angle X, the measure of angle Y, and just one side are y, lowercase y. So these are the three things that we want to find. So we need to start off with trig because we want to find, or we could start off with Pythagorean theorem and find this missing side. So we could do that to find y. Let's do, this is our c, and so we need to do our little y squared plus 31 squared is equal to 36 squared. Since that's our hypotenuse, it's always the c, right, by itself. And then subtract 31 squared. Y squared is equal to 335. And you can type this straight into your calculator, 36 squared, or you can simplify it and make it 1,296, and then make the 31 squared your 961 if you want to do that. And then square root 335, which is going to give you your answer of 18.3. So 18.3 is going to go there. And now we want to use trig to find our measure of angle. It doesn't matter which one. Let's do measure of angle x. So if we're looking for angle x, we have, this is the opposite. We have the hypotenuse. So we're going to use sine inverse of our O 31 over our H 36 and type that into our calculator to get the measure of angle x is 59 degrees. And so now, once we know that this is 59 degrees, we have two angles, and we can find the third by subtracting the 90 and the 59 now from 180 and getting 31 degrees for angle y.